Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I'll be talking about all the best features of Oppo A7. By the way guys, I'll be making a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section where I'll be talking about many things which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now with that said, the first best feature about this phone is definitely its display. This phone sports a 6.2-inch IPS display with the new water drop notch with HD Plus resolution and the new 19:9 aspect ratio. It is also protected by 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Now for the price, a Full HD display would have been great, but still even this display is pretty good for regular usage and watching videos. Now going on next, it even has some pretty good cameras. On the rear, it has a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f2.2 aperture. That's followed by a 2 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture to take portrait shots. On the front, it has a single 16 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. These are some sample pictures. Next, it has a super fast fingerprint scanner. Just like all the previous Oppo phones, even this phone comes with a super fast fingerprint scanner and unlocks the phone in almost a split second. Now going on next, it has a super fast face unlock feature. Just like all the previous Oppo phones, even this phone comes with face unlock feature and it is insanely fast. In good lighting conditions, it is super fast, like we can't even see the lock screen, and it can be comparable with phones like OnePlus 6, 60 and so on. Even in low lighting conditions, face unlock works really well and it is pretty fast. Next, this phone has support for portrait mode for both the front and rear cameras. Unlike most phones, we can still use Auto HDR while taking portrait shots, which is something we don't see on other phones. Now these are the sample pictures. Next we have stickers. Using this feature, we can add these stickers to your face using both the front and rear cameras and take some unique pictures. It comes with a few stickers pre-installed and you can also download a lot more. Next we have some camera gestures. For both the front and rear camera, we have a very common gesture called tap to take picture. Just enable it and touch the preview window to take a picture. For the front camera, you also get the palm gesture. Just enable the feature and once your phone sees your palm, it will take a picture in 2 seconds. This particular feature is really handy while taking selfies. Next, it even has a dedicated SD card slot. Nowadays, most of the phones do offer a dedicated SD card slot, but for a phone with this configuration, at this price, with all these features, it's quite rare. Next, it has something called real sound technology. Now, if you want to improve the audio experience on the headset, just enable real sound technology from the sound settings and you will definitely see a noticeable difference. Next, we have navigation gestures. Now, these are the navigation keys, and like on any other Android phone, we have the back, home and recent apps button. On this phone, we can replace these buttons with navigation gestures just like the iPhone 10 or like the OnePlus 6 and the 60. Most of the phones come with only one navigation gesture, but on this phone, we have 4. And my favorite one would be the first one. Once you select the first gesture, you can swipe on the left or right corners to go back, swipe from the center to go home, and finally, swipe and hold for recent apps. These gestures give you a much more immersive experience than your regular navigation keys. Now going on next, this phone has a very unique feature called Smart Sidebar. It is enabled by default and this is how it looks like. You have some quick shortcuts, quick actions and some quick applications. You can access it from anywhere. Even while watching videos or playing games in full screen mode, you can swipe near the notch area to bring it up. From here you can quickly launch applications, take a screenshot, record the screen, block banner notifications, and finally open few applications in a floating window. Next we have Assistive Ball. Now just in case if navigation gestures are not really your thing, but you still want a much more immersive experience, you can enable Assistive Ball. Once you enable this feature, you'll see a floating bubble that can do multiple actions. Now first you need to select the operation mode. You have gestures and tap mode. I'll go with gestures. Now you can tap once to go back, double tap for multitasking, and touch and hold to go home. If you select tap, once you click it, you just get additional options, just like the iPhones and iPads. Now this is another way to interact with your phone and gives you a much more immersive experience. Next we have some screen off gestures, like double tap to wake, just enable it and double tap the screen to wake it up. Next you can draw a note to open the camera application. We can also draw a V to toggle the torch. We can also draw characters like greater than or less than for music controls. And finally, you can add custom gestures like you can draw a W to open WhatsApp, M for phone dialer, and so on. Next we have raise to wake. Now once you enable this feature, you can simply raise your phone or pick it up from a table and your phone wakes up and then displays the lock screen. Now if you are already using the face unlock feature on this phone, you can simply raise your phone and then your phone will automatically unlock in an instant. It will wake up, show the lock screen, sees your face and then use facial data to unlock the phone. So using these two features together will give you a much more immersive experience. Next we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you that, let me show you how to take a normal screenshot. On any Android phone, if you want to take a screenshot, press the volume down button and power button both at the same time and your phone will take a screenshot. It is as simple as that. Now for some reason, if that's a bit difficult for you or if you need something more easy, you can enable this 3-finger screenshot gesture. Now once you enable this feature, you can simply swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. Personally, this is my favorite feature or my favorite way to take a screenshot, and nowadays most of the phones support this feature. Now going on next, we have long screenshot. Now to take a longer screenshot, first you need to take a normal screenshot. You can either use the buttons or the gesture. Now once you take a screenshot, you get this preview. Now click long screenshot. Now just scroll the page up as long as you want to take a longer screenshot. Next we have some smart call features, where your phone automatically answers the call when you place the phone near your ear, switch on the speaker when you move your phone away from your face, and finally mute the incoming call if you flip the phone. These are definitely handy and you should give it a try yourself. Now going on next, we have a super handy shortcut to trigger Google Assistant with the power button. Once you enable this feature, you can long press the power button to trigger Google Assistant. It's a nice feature and can be quite useful while using the navigation gestures. But I don't think this power button will last longer if you use it continuously. Next, we have an app lock built into the system. And unlike most phones, we can unlock locked applications either by using the password or the fingerprint scanner, and even by using the face unlock feature. So if you're already using face unlock feature on your phone, most of the time you won't even see the lock screen. Now because of this one particular feature, you can lock any application you want and you won't be inconvenienced in any way. Now going on next, you also have the option to record calls automatically on your phone. So to enable that, go to settings, then select system apps, then select calls. From here select call recording and then enable the toggle that says all recording to record all the calls automatically on your phone. Next we have night shield. Now once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and thereby filters the blue light. According to research, blue light emitted by our displays affects sleep at night. So to prevent that, we have this night shield mode and you can enable it manually or schedule it to automatically turn on or turn off at a specific time. Next we have Startup Manager. Now just like the name suggests, it's a feature that allows you to stop applications from auto starting in the background. Now most of these applications automatically start in the background and then drain your battery life. And for the most part, just applications like maybe Instagram or WhatsApp needs to be allowed to auto start. So you can disable auto start permission for all these applications and further improve the battery life. Next we have Smart Scan. Now this is an application like Cam Scanner which helps you take better pictures of documents. It's more like a document scanner. Every time you want to take a picture of something related to text, use this application. It will take better and sharper pictures. Next we have a security feature which protects your personal information. Whenever any application tries to read your personal information like messages, call logs and contacts, this feature provides fake data to those applications. Many applications on your phone try to read your personal information. Even Amazon does that. So using this feature, we can still use those applications safely without sharing your personal information. Next we have Clone Apps, which is a feature that allows you to use 2 instances of the same application. Like you can have 2 WhatsApp accounts, 2 Facebook accounts and 2 Instagram accounts on the same phone. This is definitely a very handy feature, but it is still limited to only very few applications. Let's say if I want to use 2 Paytm accounts on the same phone, we can't do that. Next we have Game Space. Now this feature or application just tries to improve your gaming experience and gives you a lot more cool features. Now once you add all your games to this game space and then open that game, your phone will divert all the resources to improve your gaming experience. It means faster game load speeds, better visuals, and more than that, it gives you the option for Do Not Disturb mode where you won't be interrupted with annoying notification sounds or visual disturbances like banner notifications. You also have different power profiles to improve the performance or battery life. It also gives you the option to disable auto brightness, which is missing on many phones out there. Next we have split screen mode. Now split screen mode has been on Android for a very long time, but on this phone we have some more features. Now to start a split screen mode, as always, you can simply press and hold the recent tabs button, or on this phone you can also use the 3-finger gesture. Simply swipe up using 3 fingers to open the current application in a split screen mode. You can choose a secondary application from the list below. Personally, I like this gesture and I wish every other phone has it. Next we have automatic on off. Now this is another weird name for schedule power on and power off, and using these settings we can automatically turn on and turn off your phone at a specific time. Next we have something called Smart Assistant on your default launcher or your default home screen. You can simply go to the leftmost corner to find the Smart Assistant, which simply displays weather information, calendar events, and some quick shortcuts. You can enable it or disable it from here. Now going on next, this phone even comes with screen recording. I really don't know why you want to record your screen, especially on an Android phone, but for some reason if you want to record it, you can start it from the notification toggles, or you can also use the smart bar, which can be accessed from anywhere by swiping on the right side corner. You can stop recording by clicking the stop button on the floating bubble. Next we have Smart Energy Saver. Now this is another feature to improve your battery life. If you enable it, your phone will automatically manage all the apps running in the background to improve the battery life. If you disable it, you get the complete list of applications that are installed on your phone, and you can manually choose to block an application from running in the background. Next we have Oppo Share. Now this is a feature like Share It or Apple's AirDrop, which allows you to share information, whether it's files, images, or anything, between Oppo and Realme devices over Wi-Fi, just like Share It. Next we have Smart Driving. This is another fancy sounding feature which simply gives you various features to manage calls and messages while driving. We have a similar feature on many other phones, but on this phone we can automatically enable it or turn it on when you connect your Bluetooth in your car, or else you can manually turn it on if you have a bike. Next we have Kid Space. If your kid is troubling you about your phone, he wants to play some games, or maybe sometimes he accidentally purchases stuff, Kid Space can be quite useful for you. Once you configure this Kid Space, your kid will be able to only use specific applications that you choose, and he will be able to use your phone only for a specific amount of time. Once again, it's a nice feature, but if your kid already knows your password, it's completely useless. Next we have a feature called Anti-Harassment, which, as the name suggests, is a feature to block calls and messages. But unlike other phones, it gives you some additional options. Next we have Private Safe. Now this feature is more like an application or like a vault where you can hide all kinds of files. Just like the app lock, we can have a completely different password from your lock screen, and we can unlock it using your fingerprint or your facial data. Personally, I suggest you to use Gallery Vault. So guys, those were all the best features. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and make sure you check out my video on tips and tricks section. Link will be in the description. Now if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and I'll try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.